Walker about to put the toe to it to get us underway. Kick travels to about the 5-yard line. Will run out nicely to about the 35-yard line. As Ray Davis with a good return, but a marker right off the top here by Carl Sheffers and crew. Let's see what they have.
Carl Sheffers, the referee.
Sheffers and company will back them up, and Josh Allen coming off the MVP season. He's 4-1 in the regular season. He's the only quarterback.
Tyler Bascal holding
beat them 4 times. Of course, you know the story in the postseason. It's 4 of the last 5 years the Chiefs have eliminated the Bills in the playoffs. So they come out with 3 wides, including Shavers joining the mix. Cook, the running back, coming off a huge game. They get it right in the hands of Khalil Shakir for about 3. Let's talk about some key matchups here, Tony, to get this one started. You see defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo in his 7th year at Kansas City.
This is the key to the game, in my opinion, Jim. Right now, Kansas City doesn't allow a 100-yard rusher, and nobody's running the football in the National Football League better than the Buffalo Bills. So as this game goes on, can Buffalo impose their will against a team who doesn't allow that to happen?
The only team in the league that runs it more than it throws it is Buffalo, fractionally over 50%. 2nd and 7. 2 straight pass plays on this occasion, and it's broken up by Watt.
Interference, yeah. Jalen Watson.
We got an update, Adam Shine. What's the story?
Oh, Jim Nance, we have a story. Andre Yoshabaz with his touchdown catch. It's 42-41 Bengals. They were down by 14 at the 2-minute warning. Back to you.
Yeah, they scored a touchdown and then converted the only 3rd onside kick of the season to get the ball back so quickly. Thank you, Adam. 1st and 10 for Buffalo. Here is the first angle for Cook. And it goes for about 4.
This is the play you're going to see come up a lot. They took it to Carolina on these tosses. It reminded me of Mike Shanahan, the John Elway Broncos in the late 90s, because they get this toss and they get everyone running, and Cook is so good at pressing the edge, finding a hole, and boy, have they looked good the last couple weeks doing it.
He had 216 yards on the ground against the Panthers.
Pretty good.
3 touchdown runs for 64 and 19. First back to go over 200 for Buffalo since Freddie Jackson in 09.
And he didn't play in the 4th quarter.
Not a single snap. Not a single handle. As this one comes back over to Shakir.
Got the first down, yes.
Motion coming across Shakir. Pretend handoff, but it's just a different way to run the football. Throw it out to the flat. You get zone defense. But this is the game I think you're going to see Buffalo. I know it's crazy. Kansas City is favored going to Buffalo. Buffalo has a better record. They got the #1 run offense in the National League, yards per game, and they got Josh Allen. But Kansas City's favorite. Buffalo needs to impose their will.
And that's all because of people talking about Buffalo's defense being so depleted. Able to squirt ahead for another nice gain of about 7. We've got another update. Keeping Adam Shine busy. Go ahead.
Jim and Tony, how about this? Will Lutz, 34-yard field goal at the gun to win it. 18-15 Denver. 6th win in a row for the Broncos. Back to you.
And the story there, thank you, Adams. Another massive 4th quarter comeback. They come back from 14 down to Philly. They come down from 19 down to start the 4th against the Giants, and they were 8 down against Houston in the 4th. What a win. Here's Cook.
We'll start the first down, yes.
Opening series.
And the reason I brought up the Broncos and them, but watch Shakir block right there at the point of attack on a duo run, and then Cook has great vision and showing off why he's been playing so well. But Shakir handling McDuffie here. I just think Josh Allen has help now. The number one rushing attack in the league, and you have Josh Allen and you're at home. They should be the favorite in this game, in my opinion, even though everyone else is taking the Chiefs, even though the Chiefs are amazing.
Cook just went for 17. Back to Shakir. His third catch already, but this one for just a gain of 2. Take note that in the 2 games last year against Kansas City, regular season and the AFC title game, Shakir had 18 receptions total in those 2 games. He's got 3 here on the first series.
On the same pace right now. You can see making the game simple. You can run the football, take little passes, no chance of a turnover, and I think you're going to find the possessions will be small today. Everyone expects shootouts with the best quarterbacks. I actually think it'll be a little lower scoring because these possessions will last a long time with a lot of completions.
2nd and 8 on the way. Curtis Samuel in the game. And it's Cook again, being patient with it, and then he's knocked back by 2 or 3 Chiefs. It's set up a 3rd and about 4. Such an interesting graphic that you had. As you see, again, the only team in the league that rushes it more than it passes it. But you had how long it's been since they've allowed a 100-yard rusher, talking about Kansas City, and Cook is certainly going to be a threat here today. He's already got 32 yards on 4 carries as Joe Brady's been calling his number.
I'm giving him and Aaron Cromer a ton of credit for what they're doing right now in this run game. Move the back out, see if it's man-to-man or zone, get to the right play.
The back is Ty Johnson. He takes the pass.
Got the first down. Yes.
He's down to the Kansas City 25 before Brian Cook makes the tackle. Samuel threw a nice block on that right side for 9 yards.
You're going to get pressure right here, coming right up the middle, and if that's the point, wherever you pressure from, throw it in that area. You can't get outside. But the real difference is the blocking right now by the wide receivers. That's an extension of the run game a different way.
This is a drive that began back at the 16 after a penalty on the opening kick return. Very methodical drive to the KC 25 where it's a first down.
Imposing their will right now, which I told you is going to be the key in this game.
So the toss play to Cook, not this time. What a play by Bolton. Bolton backs him up 4.
This is Bolton at his best. McGovern's going to be in the middle, but Bolton's got to beat the center right here. Can you get across his face and see the play? Yes. And when you do that, it really makes it difficult for you to continue to run those tosses. But if you guess wrong and they fake that, that's going to be a wide open area. Expect Buffalo to use that.
They call it a loss of 3. Ray Davis in the backfield now on this 2nd and 13. Allen looks left, goes left. She goes to Samuel. And it is Tranquil on him quickly. 3rd down on the way. And we're on our way back to Adam Schein in New York with an update.
Jim and Tony, this one is wild. 3 scores to the final of 143. Look at Caleb Williams to Colston Loveland. Are you kidding me? 58 yards. 2-point conversion, no good. Back to you.
That is so bizarre in the last 2 minutes. And the Bears bounce back after giving up 2 touchdowns since the 2-minute warning to take the lead again. With 17 seconds left. Here it's a 3rd and 8. And Allen throws.
Oh, it's a touchdown. Yes. Dalton Kincaid.
What a systematic drive. You're going to watch Tranquil's man-to-man. They did the motion to see if it's man, and then Tranquil falls down. It's a great route by Kincaid using his leverage against him right here. I'm going to go in. Nope. And then the ground turf got you.
You remember the AFC title game ended with a desperation heave by Josh Allen trying to find Kincaid, and it just fell incomplete. He finds him here, though, on the opening drive that took 7 minutes. The 23-yard touchdown pass from Allen to Kincaid.
That's why we talk about the possessions will be less in this game because these quarterbacks are so efficient and both teams can run the football. And that is a good spiral to a wide open player. Just pitch and catch. Can't play man and fall down. Never a recipe for cover someone.
Doesn't usually end happily for the defense in that case. And look at Joe Brady. Say, yeah, that's one right there. That is, you call it systematic, methodical, whatever you want. It's what you've been telling us the last couple of days when we've been here in Buffalo. That was precisely what you thought the game would look like.
Yeah, exactly.
84 yards in 11 plays and nearly half the quarter before you see Mahomes and company take the field.
You want to be the great quarterback? Keep him on the sideline.
Kincaid's fourth touchdown catch of the season. He's been battling an oblique injury here and there, but he's one of Josh's favorite targets. He's happy to see him healthy, and he found it. So Prater to kick off. He's had a calf injury that had him on the injury report this week, but he's able to send it to about the 2-yard line. Thornton on the run back. Get to about the 33, that's it. 31-yard run back. Patrick Mahomes. What a run since he's gotten his full fleet of receivers back. He's had 3 touchdown passes in 3 straight games. 4 is his personal record, 4 straight games. He's done it a couple of times.
He has been in rhythm and on fire. This is going to be a great start to this game to see how this plan is for Buffalo and how to stop this juggernaut.
Kareem Hunt is the running back with Pacheco inactive as Hunt backs in for about 3 yards. Rousseau tackles him down, but we alluded to it a moment ago about all of these injuries on this defense, Tony. The biggest one of all, of course, is Ed Oliver, who can change a game. And, well, the bicep injury, there is hope he could possibly be back if they run deep into the playoffs.
Well, Sean McDermott and this organization made a concerted effort to draft and allocate their resources really to beat the Chiefs, which is why they made 6 of the first 7 draft picks on the defense, so they do have depth on the D-line.
2nd and 7. Here's Mahomes' first pass, and Hollywood Brown unable to hold on to it, and we're keeping Adam busy. Let's go right back to you.
Jim and Tony, Hail Mary time for Joe Flacco. No, picked off. Bears win the craziest game of the year, 47-42. Back to you.
There've been some crazy ones. Thank you, Adam. That was a good tease. That was a good tease. I'll tell you, there's a good one here week 1, too, that's on that short list for one of the best games when they played Baltimore. 3rd and 7.
It is loud in here.
Mahomes goes sideline, and it's tails over the head of Rashee Rice. And it's 3 plays and a punt coming up for Kansas City.
By Buffalo right there. Mahomes a little bit jacked up, right? The old Brett Favre, let's calm down to start. He just threw it a little high there. He had him open, but got to give Buffalo credit for getting 3 and out.
Ariza into punt. It's a short one to the 27. And the Bills will come back out at the 30-yard line. That was a 37-yard punt. Kansas City defense has to come right back onto the field. You see Dawson Knox trotting onto the field. Hawes, another one of the tight ends, going to be in this huddle as they are about to begin their 2nd series. Those of you who just watched that wild one between Chicago and Cincinnati, we welcome you to Western New York, where the Bills are already up 7-0 in the first quarter. handoff to Cook. Cook has 9 yards. The Bills drove 84 yards after the opening kickoff in 11 plays. And again, just joining us here, this is how they found the end zone. Allen to Dalton Kincaid from 23 yards out.
And for those of you joining us, that first run right there is kind of how the first drive went. Buffalo, who has shown an affinity this year of being dominant in the run game, especially last week against Carolina, did it on the opening drive, starting off the same way here.
On second down, it's Cook. And look at Cook. Out to the 46. Running behind Reggie Gilliam, the unheralded fullback who does so many different things, including special teams, helping clear him for a first down.
He's going to come right through and get Chenal right here. Gilliam right there. And they're so diverse in this run scheme, they've actually added these tosses, wide zone type plays, and give it multiple holes, but at their core, they still like running right at you, and Gilliam's a big part of it.
Already 6 first downs for the Bills. And a new set of downs at the 45. Allen sidearms it right through the hands of Hawes. We mentioned Reggie Gilliam. He does everything. He's a great guy in the locker room. Show us him right here.
More than everything, or more than just a fullback. He plays everywhere on special teams. They use him so many multiple ways, and you'll find he's one of those guys that's invaluable. And then all of a sudden, the exact same run you just saw, when he starts on that side, comes back. They've used it a bunch. This team has guys all over the place that are selfless. He's one of the best.
That was the exact same run a moment ago that last week went for 64 yards and a touchdown at Carolina. Second and 10. Moving over to Ty Johnson. Was in traffic and wrapped up by Dana pretty quickly.
It would have been a huge play, but Spagnuolo dropped the defensive end, Dana there, right into a situation where he was waiting for a guy, kind of randomly. But that's been some of the difference in some of these games, is Spagnuolo's ability to time when to pressure, how to do it. He is one of the all-time great coordinators.
They converted twice on third down on the opening touchdown drive. Need to get to the Chiefs 45. That's Dalton Kincaid, going to be about 2 yards short. Got a little decision here early in this game. 4th and 2.
This is going to be real interesting to see how Buffalo, their mindset coming into this game. Do you go for these right around midfield? Yes.
Well, the last time these two tangled here, the 4th and 2 play won it with Allen taking it 27 yards for the winning touchdown. This is 4th and 2 here. Allen with time, fires it, and it's incomplete. Nice job breaking it up by Cook. So Kansas City will take over on downs near midfield after the pass breakup by the safety of the Chiefs.
What? T-Mobile saying they're the best by using a bunch of random awards?
As you see from this direction, a little bit into a breeze. Nothing too significant. There's Mahomes and company, their second possession. 3 and out the first time. But a big play by the defense to hold them on 4 downs. Get the ball near midfield, and there's a connection. Rashee Rice, look at that start and stop. He's got a first down, the first of the game for Kansas City after 18 yards.
This is an outstanding job by Andy Reid. It's going to be a deep over. And right here, Rice just really come on and change this offense. Him and Worthy getting healthy where they got everyone there. But this is what Andy Reid does. In big games, he's got new wrinkles, and he brings them out because he knows his team needs them. That was a great, kind of cool formation there that he brought.
Rice with 16 catches in his first 2 games back. You mentioned Worthy. Here's Worthy. Bouncing off a hit. Picking up 8 yards. They've got some superheroes on this team. That's for sure. Talk about all the things that can happen. Both teams. Again, 10th meeting between between Mahomes and Allen since October of 2020. Bills have won the last 4 regular season matchups, but the Chiefs are 4-0 in the postseason. They average 14 points more per game in the playoffs against Buffalo than they have in the regular season matchups.
You could throw out all the tape you watch on normal weeks going against an opponent and just look at the tape that you've played against each other. Buffalo Kansas City playing each other so much. Just look at each other because that's how you're going to change your play.
Rice is in the backfield. They give him the football. And Rice is trying to reach out for the first down. We kept asking Andy Reid about the talents of Rashee Rice, and he always came back to one word. He's strong. Strong. That's what he kept saying about Rice.
He is. He's got really great lower body strength, but his ability, strong at the point of attack, right? With the catch, strong with the lower body. He's like a running back playing receiver, but he's also great getting off press. Then you want to get him the ball multiple ways. Expect it right here.
They gave him the first down with that reach out at the sticks. Rashad Smith, running back, split wide to the left as Mahomes is in trouble. And he's brought down by Bosa and Rousseau. Well, we do have
Flag
a marker
is down.
in the secondary.
Well, he was looking for Rice.
Holding number 24. Defense. 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. Automatic.
Cole Bishop.
Puts the football at the 18-yard line.
Mahomes was looking for Rice. We just talked about him. And you'll see right here, hold, and then another hold right there. I think it was but I saw it on the other side as well, so you got to call it.
You saw two places.
I saw two.
First down in the red zone.
2 running backs in.
And they hand it off to Smith. He's a fine-looking prospect, this 7th-round pick out of SMU. Seems to get a little bit more action every week. And again, they're without Pacheco today, who got injured in that game late against Washington last week. They did not put him on IR with the knee. He wanted to go back into the game last week, but they're sitting him out this week. Next week they got a bye, so they have a chance to recover before they play at Denver.
You're exactly right. And I'm watching the tape. Andy Reid, this team is so multiple, and he's actually relying a little bit on the run game, just like Buffalo has, a little bit different way. But it's been impressive. It makes him really difficult to stop.
It's a 2nd and 6 to Kareem Hunt. Gets off a nice run, and they're going to mark him about a foot shy of the first.
And this is what makes both these teams. They've always had the quarterback, the big plays, all the stuff. But after court, both these teams can run the football.
They have something in Kareem Hunt that has been almost unstoppable this year. 17 out of 19 on 3rd or 4th and 1 with Hunt. They call it, we heard it last night from Patrick, they call it the Hunt bunt. Not the tush push needed here. In fact, the percentage of conversion is actually higher than Philly's tush push when they run it with Hunt. And they're going with him right here. He's got it again. And he's down to the 3-yard line.
You called it. Just another bunt from Mr. Hunt.
That's a fast-moving first quarter, Tony.
Oh, remember those possessions I said will be very minimal in this game? Scores won't be as high as everyone thinks because both these guys are so efficient.
Well, we'll
Does
start
the
the
other
second quarter with a
wad.
amazing shots of today's game provided by Nationwide. And 1st and goal for Kansas City. Mahomes is wide to the left. Rice is going to take the snap and keep it. Rice runs in almost untouched for a touchdown. How about that formation? Patrick wide to the left. 3 guys in the backfield, 2 surrounding Rice, and he runs it in for the score.
We saw this last week against Washington. where Rice comes in. We talked about it, Jim. You made a reference to how strong he is. To get a receiver and to be allowing him to run between the tackles is rare. That one gets outside. But that is the creativity that Andy Reid brings out, especially in big games.
Bucker in for the extra point. And it's 7-7. Well, they had a short field to deal with after the failed fourth down by the Bills. They take it 52 yards and tie the game. Rice has his first career rush touchdown. A loss to New England, as right now he is so used to these two teams being like 1 and 2 seeds when they play this game in the regular season. Right now you have Indianapolis, Denver, and the Patriots in a three-way tie atop the conference. Here's the return by Davis. He's near the 30-yard line. I tell you, they're making music. That offense, Andy Reid watching his band put it all together in sync and rhythm.
They've been waiting so long to get all these guys healthy, and I think it's right now where you can scare the NFL with how they're playing. If they come in here and win this, look at this, Jim. 6 players with 3+ touchdowns. Yeah, entering week 9.
You saw Tyquan Thornton in there as well. He was one of those on the keyboard. Here's a handoff to Cook. There's a lot of ways they can beat you. And, of course, all the history of Jazz in Kansas City, now all the history of what the Chiefs were doing for their city. Having won their division 9 consecutive years, while the Bills are a 5-year champion of their AFC East. That's why we see them on those first-place schedules every year. 2nd and 9. Got it away. And that's Keon Coleman with a catch for about 6. They're down on the way, and we're on the way down to Tracy.
James Cook already with 43 yards, but something to keep an eye on. He got rolled up on that first drive. He came off after the touchdown, got his right foot taped. He got it taped again after the next drive. He was running up and down the sidelines trying to keep it loose. Just keep an eye on it. Something we'll have to watch throughout this game.
Thank you, Tracy. Of course, leads the NFL in rushing per game at 107 yards a game.
Who's going to be the spy right here? Usually it's the guy up in the line. He's going to watch Josh.
3rd and 4. He's got time now trying to use his legs, and he's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Karlaftis and Gelati get credit for the sack.
And they were really prepared. Great job outside. Watch a retrace on the outside. Go upfield, make them feel like there's a hole there. Eventually, you see Bolton go hit someone, come back in as a spy, but Karlaftis right there, that is a teaching tape. How to keep quarterbacks from extending the play.
So it has been so easy after that first drive. When they punt the distance, here's Wisnowski with the punt. Remigio fields it at the 16. And taken down aggressively at the 21 after a 48-yard punt. We were showcasing Reggie Gilliam earlier. He made the tackle there on special teams. 7-7. Patrick and the Chiefs ready to go again.
In theaters November 26th.
What a beautiful late afternoon here off the lake. It's the Chiefs from the 36 after the penalty on the Bills special teams. Turns around, he's got
Yeah.
and it's Benford getting the sack coming up from the secondary. And a loss of 6.
This is a corner. You expect him to cover somebody out here. The motion comes. You would never expect it when you turn your back as a quarterback. Surprise. I'm right here. Great time with blitz by McDermott and Babbage.
Benford was concussed in that AFC title game in January. They missed him the rest of that game. It was a big absence.
He's the top corner.
Here's a 2nd and 16. Right down the middle. He's got it. It's Rice again.
What a throw. Great catch. It's going to run right down the middle. You're going to have safeties get wide so the middle of the field has a chance of being open. Gets his head around at the right moment. And Mahomes wisely throws this because he can't see everybody low, so he can just get down on the ground. Huge play for Kansas City.
He goes for 24. And they're now on the Buffalo side of the 50.
And they are using Rice multiple ways, Jim. Impressive.
Hunt with a lane. And a first down. And Gallops were about 13.
This is what makes Kansas City scary. Not only can it be explosive in the scene, but watch the blocking on the right side. It's a great job of kicking out and then sealing the inside. And as soon as you expect this explosive team, they can run it right at you.
With Pacheco out, they brought up from the practice squad a name from the past, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, off the practice squad. And here he is with his first handle of the season, and Bosa does not allow him to go anywhere. A loss of 2.
What an acquisition. Watch the inside move by Bosa right here. Right at the point of attack, swing move. Gets inside and really just beats Taylor like a drum right away. Huge difference maker. 4 forced fumbles already this year, Jim.
Edwards-Helaire, the former first-round pick, his best game ever was here on this field in October of 2020 when he ran for 168 yards. Hunts back in on 2nd and 12, and Mahomes throws it over the head of Noah Gray. There was pressure again by Bosa.
Mahomes has such great instincts that he had to get rid of the ball. He could feel Bosa coming down on him. Watch Bosa at the bottom of your screen right here. Went inside in the last play, and Mahomes knows he's coming, so he has to throw it earlier. Otherwise, that would have been a big play.
3rd and 12 coming up for Kansas City. Kelsey has not been targeted so far. This one goes to Worthy. He's going to be about 4 or 5 yards short of the first. And they're bringing out Butker without hesitation.
Well, that was a play call just to get into better field goal positioning, because it would have been a very long one if they got no yards. Good job by Kansas City.
Good move for
Staying in
field
phase and giving
goal.
themselves a chance to get 3.
It'll be a 46-yard attempt for Butker. 12 out of 15 on the season. This one.
First charge timeout, Buffalo. A 30-second timeout.
Timeout called by
Coming off balance. A timeout called.
Sean back to
Buffalo
the box.
back in 30 seconds after this.
Having
Out of the Bills timeout, Butker steadies himself and ready to go again from 46. Off the right hash, arrives upon the hold, and Butker's kick.
Be a successful field goal.
So 10 unanswered points since they stopped the Bills on a 4th down play near midfield. Big. 10-7 Chiefs in the second. And Butker kicks it down to about the 4-yard line. And again, Davis running across the 30. You know, last month the Buffalo Bills Women's Association hosted its annual Family Flag Football Challenge at Highmark Stadium to benefit the Bills Foundation. Team Red and Team Blue went head-to-head in a friendly matchup, supporting the foundation's mission to tackle hunger across Western New York. The event was led by Haley Bean and Jamie McDermott. Coach McDermott and Brandon Bean.
Really impressed with the collaboration out of these two. Bean's done a great job, and like I said, concerted effort this offseason to try and build a team to, honestly, I think, to focus on beating the Chiefs.
They work well together, that's for sure. It's 1st and 10. As shovel pass is there.
Got the first down, yeah.
49-yard line. That's what Patrick Mahomes is supposed to do. But we do see him improvising as well, Tony, right here at his best.
Watch Bolton, he's going to go guard, and now he's got to be the spy and get up there, so he's got to leave. Pause, and right there, there's improvisation at its best, and I think we got two of the greatest in that play ever in some ways at that.
Absolutely, that goes for 18, just the 7th catch of the season for Hawes. And a little bootleg as they fake it to Cook and go to Shavers. And he topples after 6. Chopped up by McDuffie.
This is where I think Buffalo can continue to improve. It's going to be, hey, we're running it left, and we bootleg out. And because they're running this stretch zone, they need to continue to get more play action off of it. You see it right there, a simple little play, gets you 7-8 yards.
And just the 6th catch of the year for Shavers. So back-to-back plays to a couple of guys who don't catch it all that often.
Ding, 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 we're running the ball. Shavers in. Nope.
Right up the middle. They go with Cook.
Got the first down, yeah.
Cook is amazing. He can jump cut maybe better than anyone in the league, but we got a marker.
Got penalty flag.
You did say it.
Holding, number 88, offense, 10-yard penalty, replay second down.
Well, you're going to see Knox. He's trying to block O'Menu.
Dawson Knox got holding penalty.
When he gets down in there, oh, I don't necessarily think that was a hold, and he doesn't either. There's no way. But at the point of attack, if the ball gets by you, they're going to see it right away if it's even close. What a jump cut, though. You were right.
2nd and 13. Spot foul. Takes it back to the 44. Allen stands right in the pocket.
He's going for it, he's going for it. It's a first down, yes.
47 yards to Dalton Kincaid.
Look at this pocket. He's got time to scan the field, look around, and then by the time he retraces and gets back, huge having Kincaid back. He's already making a huge impact on this game after the earlier touchdown.
He spotted at the 8, and they hurry to the line, and they hand it off to Ty Johnson, who scoots to about the 3. And again, they go no huddle.
Keeping personnel on the field for Kansas City, not long substitution. Smart.
Hand off.
Touchdown, yes. Ty Johnson.
Touchdown run for Johnson. His first touchdown of the season. All set up on the big pass play to Kincaid.
Teaching tape by this offense going no huddle. Just a simple inside zone to the left. But the no huddle was the secret here. It kept Kansas City in the same personnel grouping. And the last thing Steve Spagnuolo wants is for him not to affect the game, changing personnel, coming up with this cool stuff.
So each team gets a 3-yard touchdown run with the ball carrier untouched. Kincaid with his longest reception in 2 years since his rookie year. And then Ty Johnson runs behind Edwards. And the Bills regain the lead.
Volkswagen Tiguan. Now anybody can drive like somebody. And by KFC's Big Chicken Sandwich, just $3.99.
Sod at the new Highmark Stadium, getting ready for its debut next season. And by the way, these two teams, forget about being matched up off a first place or second place schedule. They will meet again next year in the regular season because it's a year where the AFC West plays the AFC East, and that game will be at that new stadium.
On CBS.
I like what you're thinking. Oh. It'd be a wonderful 425 game week one, wouldn't it?
I would do it.
I like it. Here's Thornton. Thornton still going. Thornton with the run back out to about the 41. This CBS Tuesday, your favorite crime-solving team is back. An all-new episode of NCIS 8, 7 Central on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
It's the cat and mouse game right now. Now you've understood the plan for both teams. Who's going to adjust better than the other?
It's Hunt. He bounced off the first hit and then high kicked it for about 7. It's update time. Adam Shine, back to you.
Jim, Tony, Geno Smith to Brock Bowers in the back of the end zone. This is the first touchdown for Bowers this year. Hasn't played. He's been injured since week 4. Extra point, no good. 6-0 Raiders. Back to you.
Yeah, so happy to have him back. Their last game, because they had a bye last week, was at Kansas City. We were there.
Yes.
And they managed only 3 first downs.
You can play man-to-man all day until you put someone like Bowers out on the field. Same for Kansas City getting everyone healthy.
2nd and 3. It's Rice. And he easily trots away from one defender, picks up a first down, and a gain of 8. 3 catches, 51 yards, plus he's rushed for a touchdown.
They are using him so many different ways, Jim. They put him in the backfield. In the Wildcat, they started sprinkling that in last week. See him motion, just take a swing route like he's a running back, gets down the field, right down the middle, does it all.
Here he comes out of the backfield, leaving Hunt flanking Mahomes on 1st and 10. Chase. Now just throws it away. Matt Prater had a chance to catch it, but couldn't hold on. He took a hit at the end of this by Rousseau.
That's a huge hit. There's Rice. You see him in the backfield, lined up outside. Had him for a second, but really it was a coverage sack / throwaway at the end. Great discipline by Buffalo's D-line not to allow Mahomes to get outside of contain.
Kelsey in the slot to the right again. He has not been targeted thus far. 5 minutes to go in the second.
Great point.
Edwards-Helaire, the running back. They hand it off to Clyde, and he's able to go for about 6.
The best drives for both teams have been systematic. Getting 5, 6, 7 yards in the run game. Puts you in third manageable. Now you've got to watch the quarterback's legs. We know about Josh Allen. He called it the play of the year last time. We're not quite to that time frame of the game yet.
No, that was in the 4th quarter last year here. Came flying in there to break it up. Oh, might have been deflected.
It was deflected off his head.
Illegal formation offense, number 74.
Yes!
Penalty decline. Called on Taylor, who's had flag flag issues, although fewer of late, and they're going to go for it here on 4th and 3.
He's been playing good. Just got to stop the penalties. He's been okay, like you said, as of late. Here we go, 4th and 3. Quarterback's legs. Got to make sure he doesn't extend the play.
And a timeout called by Buffalo.
You spend all week to come up with these plays. You work on it over and over again, and then one guy doesn't get the communication because the crowd is so loud. Coaches saw that, take a timeout, can't give the free runner.
With Buffalo scrambling to get lined up. This is all about communications, and McDermott sees the chaos, calls the timeout.
Exactly right. It's loud in here. When you play at home, the defense got to be able to communicate.
So, back to 4th and 3.
See what McDermott comes up with right here. Because Andy Reid is amazing at these.
He did not get it. Yeah.
He was able to defend against Rashee Rice, and just like the Chiefs defense did, well, the Bills defense makes the stop on 4th and short. What about the same spot on the field? What the quarterbacks have done so far. Mahomes 4 of 10, 12 out of 14 for Josh Allen. Two great quarterbacks, but the story, one of the sub-stories of this game is the 2 4th down stops, one each. As Brooks
Got the first down. Yeah.
gets down to the 43, it was Gilliam again who helped clear the path.
Same exact play we said earlier. On the long run we showed you. But watch, Gilliam right here. Looks like he's going to go forward, but he's going to actually work back. And this is the second time today they've gotten the Chiefs on that play.
And again, that's the play that went for 64 yards and a touchdown at Carolina last week. Zach Singh.
That's why we showed you. Our production team's incredible, saying this is going to happen a lot today.
9 for 59 already for Cook. First and 10 back to him. Look at the hesitation, patience. Only able to get 3. There was never anything there. As we approach 3 minutes to go in this first half.
This was strength on strength. Buffalo leading the league in rushing yards per game, but they're going against a team who hasn't given up a 100-yard rusher.
Yeah, since week 1 last year, Lamar.
So like no one
Week 1.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
The last running back to get 100 against him was Zamir White on Christmas Day in 23. Last running back.
He's already got
62 so far on 10 toes. 2nd and 7. Shakir holds on to that football with McDuffie and Williams and Chanel on him. And they can run this down to the 2-minute warning.
as they should. And they will. All these little decisions in these type of games make the difference sometimes. Two well-coached teams, right, Jim?
Exceptional. And when you look at what they've done in these 9 previous matchups with these two quarterbacks, it is so close as far as yardage, touchdown passes, total points. They're only separated by 1 point to those 9 matchups coming in today.
That's crazy.
Right now they're separated by 4. Bills are leading. They're on the Kansas City side of the field. They have the 2-minute warning.
You don't want to miss this. Haven't you heard? I'm the Wicked Witch of the West.
On November 21st, witness the epic conclusion.
Join with me. Help me fight the wizard.
Wicked for Good, we PG in theaters November 21st.
Ice cream, local favorite. The legend serving up a tasty treat. He played for 100-year-old Marv Levy's teams of yesteryear. Here's a 3rd and 3.
Got the first down, yes.
Cross that line for a first down. Big play. And Shavers helped out on that side with a block.
Talk about being able to take this all the way down. I feel like Kansas City, yeah, they did. They took the timeout smartly right there.
Second timeout is called by Sean McDermott.
So the Chiefs call it. They're surrendering the first down at the 33. There's our crew. Great to have them on site here again. Coach Power, Matt, Nate, JB, with the Verizon halftime report coming up.
Love it. They're so into it. These guys love football. Fun to watch them. They're great at it.
Coach Power has one of his longtime friends and former coaching opponent that's in the stadium as well, Marvin Lewis. What a guy.
I got a chance to talk with him.
Cincinnati, yeah.
He's great.
Those two actually go back to playing midget football together in Crafton, Pennsylvania for the Crafton Little Cougars, fighting battle against the Fort Cherry Little Rangers. Marvin calling the game on national radio. Here's a 1st and 10. Down the field.
Got the first down, yes.
Another tight end. This time it's Knox. Knox gets into the act with Kincaid for another big one, setting him up inside the 5.
This is why when they run these wide outside zone type plays, you're going to have this wide stretch by Josh. And you see they get Watson to bite on it. Just a really high-level executed play. And you set that up all week on that run, and it works.
That went for 30. The Buffalo tight ends, all 3 of them have caught big passes in this half. And look at them. They've got 123 yards so far in this game on 5 catches and a touchdown. 1st and goal. Cook driving. He's over the top of a pile, but they're going to say something was touching the ground back inside the 1.
You'd rather be stopped short. Kansas City will take a timeout if you're going to score. If you don't, then you want it to get in.
Second charge timeout, Kansas City. They set the game clock to 1:45. This is the 32nd timeout.
His knee touchdown. You see Mike Pinnell dragging him down. They just brought him back for the 3rd different stint in Kansas City this week.
I don't think his knee looked like it hit there. It just stopped forward progress, it looked like. But what an extra effort. I mean, Cook is not the biggest guy, but he plays like it, Jim. He's got some rare gifts. And he's imposing his will right now in this first half. Let's see. Still not there.
There's a knee.
Number 70 reports is eligible. Number 70 is eligible.
You heard it. Alec Anderson has come in on that line.
This is where they bring in big personnel. You take a tight end out, you bring in an extra alignment, so you got 6. Ding, ding, ding.
And Cook lined up behind his quarterback.
Remember, they didn't get the tush push last year in some big key areas.
Here's Gilliam pushing his quarterback. And still no signal. Gilliam came up to do Buffalo's version of the push.
I thought he got it.
I did too. And Josh looks up at the monitor. Look at Gilliam. Well, I'll tell you that replay, I would say no.
Didn't look like it there. This is the one right here.
That right there is close. That you can make an argument that touched the front of that line.
But that was such a huge moment.
You know, last year in the AFC Championship, they tried this 5 times, and they went always to the left side. That's a touchdown. They just called it a touchdown. That angle right there was the clincher, and Gilliam, that's right. The Mr. Let me do a little bit of everything. He got his quarterback that touchdown.
You're exactly right. Mr. Everything, he's done it already to start the game. And right there, Josh Allen. Most in NFL history.
That's 47 games with a touchdown pass and a touchdown rush for a score.
Same thing. Gilliam pushed him, by the way, last week, Jim.
Yeah.
I think the one thing, though, is it's about adjustments. They changed up some of their technique this year because they got stopped. That was the difference in some ways, that game. If you go back and look, those are huge moments.
Here's Prater for the extra
What?
point. I did too. And Josh looks up at the monitor. Look at Gilliam. Well, I tell you that replay, I would say no.
Didn't look like it there. This is the one right here.
That right there is close. That you could make an argument that touched the front of that line.
But that was such a huge moment.
You know, last year in the AFC Championship, they tried this 5 times and they went always to the left side. That's a touchdown. They just called it a touchdown. That angle right there was the clincher, and Gilliam, yeah, that's right. The Mr. Let me do a little bit of everything. He got his quarterback that touchdown.
You're exactly right. Mr. Everything, he's done it already, start the game. And right there, Josh Allen. Most in NFL history.
That's 47 games with a touchdown pass and a touchdown rush for a score.
Same thing. Gilliam pushed him, by the way, last week, Jim.
Yeah.
I think the one thing, though, is it's about adjustments. They changed up some of their
This
technique.
is a touchdown.
Everything. He got his quarterback that touchdown.
You're exactly right. Mr. Everything, he's done it.
It's a touchdown. They just called it a touchdown. That right there is close. That you could make an argument that touched the front of that line.
But that was such a huge moment.
You know, last year in the AFC Championship, they tried this 5 times and they went always to the left side. That's a touchdown.
Yes!
You're exactly right. Mr. Everything, he's done it already, start the game. And right there, Josh Allen. Most in NFL history.
That's 47 games with a touchdown pass and a touchdown rush for a score.
Same thing. Gilliam pushed him, by the way, last week, Jim.
Yeah.
I think the one thing, though, is it's about adjustments. They changed up some of their technique this year because they got stopped. That was the difference in some ways, that game. If you go back and look, those are huge moments.
Here's Prater for the extra point. And 21 on the board now for Buffalo. Last week, it was Josh Allen breaking Cam Newton's record for most games with a touchdown. So, you just saw Josh Allen on the 3 touchdown drives. He's been a perfect 12 for 12. And each team has turned a 4th down stop by their defense into a touchdown. As Remigio runs it out to about the 33. Something significant has been happening out on the West Coast. Let's go back to Adam.
Jim and Tony, you referenced it. A little history from Cam Little. Look at his boots. Longest field goal ever. 68 yards. 6'3" Raiders. Early third. Back to you.
Well, how about that? That's not exactly a lot of fanfare the way it happens, but give it to him. He had a 70-yarder he made in the preseason in early August against Pittsburgh. Cam Little now has the all-time record. Now, see what Kansas City can do. Here's the pass to Hunt with 1:20 to go in the half and 1 timeout to work with. Pick up a 6.
Well, if there's anybody you want, I mean, obviously, Josh Allen's up there in the stratosphere. But Patrick Mahomes is the standard in these situations still.
2nd and 4. On the run, he's got Kelsey for the first time, and Travis tackled from behind. And about the 41.
Nobody better than those two. As soon as Mahomes scrambles, you know Kelsey will find a way to get open.
That one for 20. Now going for the deep ball. He's open. It's Hollywood. And they don't give him the touchdown. They say he's a foot out.
Do you get up? You call the timeout? Do you wait? I'd get up and run quarterback sneak really quick. Then take the timeout.
I would like to know if he was in. You might want to think about that.
Well, you got no choice. You got to get up and go.
Hold on.
This would be from New York. And, oh, Buffalo.
Timeout.
And the final timeout's called by Sean McDermott.
To Hollywood Brown.
Wow, that was smart, by the way. Buffalo calling that timeout, getting big people in the field. Did he get in? No.
That was a perfect call.
How long did that take, by the way, for them to just go the length of the field?
3 plays.
Do you think they can go pretty far in a short amount of time? Have you ever seen that happen before?
But with this team, yeah.
13 seconds.
In this matchup, yeah.
They've gotten down the field a little bit.
One of the greatest divisional game probably of all time in the NFL annals. One of the great games you'll ever see, but 32-36 games, what you're talking about. But
by the way, Hollywood Brown ran an incredible route there. It was man-to-man on Benford, and he just smoked him.
give it to Nathan Jones, the field judge, who was right on the spot to mark it exactly where it belonged. But 20 seconds, still with 1 timeout. Punt, unstoppable most of the time from here, but not this time. And Mahomes realized they're going to call a quick one.
Is an absolute huge play because now.
Did you say 13 seconds, by the way? What are you talking about? Hey, here we go again.
Here we go again, Jeff. I just think Sean McDermott taking that timeout gave an opportunity to get all these big guys in here because you had a different personnel for, you know, the 2 minute basically at the end. You get smaller people in.
When they had 2 seconds back on the clock, that was Jordan Phillips who really kind of broke up the play initially. So no timeouts, Tony. What do you do on 2nd and goal?
If you run it, you've got to have 2 plays called in there. So I'm thinking pass if I'm Buffalo. I'm going to go ahead and be like, if you're willing to run this and risk it, so be it. But expect pass, and especially to the sideline.
Watch Rice in the slot to the left. Mahomes dancing around back at 14 and throws it away with 9 seconds. Worthy was in the area. Benford on the coverage.
This is now, there's so many permutations. And you'll see the motion goes back. They want to always get it right back to the flat. Buffalo, very prepared for that. It's not 4th down. So you have the opportunity to do anything you want here.
Chance to double up as they'll get the 3rd quarter kick after deferring. Can they score here?
Still going to be a pass. Mahomes knows if he extends the play, eventually he's got to let it go.
Here he goes, looking left, back in the end zone, incomplete, trying to get it to Kelsey, and Bishop again with the breakup. And they're going to bring up Butker.
Bishop has been in on 3 monster plays. Just watch, right when Kelsey comes out, Bishop comes flying back in. Mahomes had to beat him because the instincts. Remember, he stopped 2 4th downs. One was called with a penalty when they hit his helmet, and he comes right back and stops the other 4th down again.
That hit by Bishop had to hurt, and Kelsey looked a little shaky going to the sideline. Field goal, chip shot. Good.
Another field goal, another successful field goal.
19 yards out as the Bills defense able to hold them out of the end zone with 3 plays run from the 1-yard line. His training crew taking him to the locker room earlier. He keeps saying, I love it, as they give him a little business. Okay.
Well, you would have taken 3 points when you started that drive here, Kansas City, no question. Give Sean McDermott credit for that timeout, Jim.
And to the back of the end zone. To think there's been these stops on 4th down that led to touchdowns, but here was the hit on Kelsey, administered by Bishop right there. And you look at this 21-13, what's the story of this first half, would you say?
I think the biggest thing right now is Buffalo's ability to control the line of scrimmage, but
we reached the end of the first half.
Just made his second catch of the game for 25 yards, and it's a 2nd and 5. Able to slide off the first hit by Bishop, but not back to the line as Bishop returns after first missing and comes back and gets the tackle.
Bishop comes flying from the 3rd level, the safety position, and boy, has he had an impact on this game. You see the effort and commitment here. This is a big drive and a huge play right here.
By far the best half of football he's played in his 2nd year out of Utah. Being drafted in the 2nd round a year ago. 3rd and 7. Rolling, thinking about it, now releasing, and it's, guess what, it was Bishop again.
You called it, this is Bishop again, but the rush lane integrity, you see the spy come flying in. Williams right there, so the ball has to be thrown, and who's at the point of contact right with the ball's there? Bishop for the 4th or 5th time.
Think about all the injuries in that secondary with Taylor Rapp lost for the year, Hamlin out, and Taron Johnson with a groin injury on Friday. That was a late scratch.
That was huge, I thought, too.
Yeah, huge. It just added to the long list, but they've been able to manage it so far. That was a 50-yard punt right there. Josh Allen. And the Bills will have it in just a moment. All of this interaction on the sideline. Terrell Bernard doing a little leadership. That's Cook. It's about 3. So they deferred, and the Bills ended up scoring on the opening drive, but then their first drive of the second half was 3 plays and a punt.
Which was the same thing that Kansas City started the game with. And it shows you this is an adjustment game. It really is. And whoever adjusts as a coaching staff, and no one's better than Steve Spagnuolo, Andy Reid, the Bills are incredible as well. But they have proven, Kansas City, to figure it out as the game goes on, even when it doesn't look great.
2nd and 7. We'll stay with the tight ends, says Josh Allen. The way that's worked out so far, brilliant. Kincaid, 2 yards shy of a first down, 3rd down coming up.
And this is obviously part of what the game plan was coming in. The Bills obviously leaning into the quick game early, in the second half like they did to start the game. 4 of Allen's first 6 passes were basically behind the line of scrimmage. So they're going to come out and do it again, run the ball, and then eventually attack downfield. They do need Chris Jones to have a splash play. He is there, and he is a monster, too.
Right up against Torrance. 3rd and 2, and Allen
Got the first down, yes.
design runs for Allen this year like they did a season ago. Just a couple of them, but that was designed all the way, and it goes for a first.
You're exactly right. We're going to pretend like we're going to run this, and then Allen's going to come right down this way. That's the 3rd, only the 3rd designed quarterback run, not scramble. And you use Chris Jones going to the quarterback against him sometimes. Get upfield, go ahead. So I'm going to run right there.
And Torrance, we mentioned, was opposite him, and Osiris was able to clear that path right off that right side, off the center, for a first down, a gain of 11. To Cook. To the 40.
It looked like it was going to be about 5 yards, but they only got 3. The knee went down a little early. But that design quarterback run, isn't it funny? when you watch this game and big games, Andy Reid brings out all the new cool stuff when the team really needs it with how they formate things with the formations, and he's the best at it. But guess what the Bills do? They decide to use Josh Allen's legs in big games the same way.
2nd and 7. Got time. James Target. Got a flag down in the secondary as Kincaid makes another reception.
And this will stand because it'll be on the other side. 20.
Number 20.
Yeah.
12-yard pass play, and Josh Allen has completed his last 9 passes.
Watch his eyes. Just dialed in and I think he's doing a great job right now of understanding coming into the game where are the Chiefs vulnerable. They do a great job. Press coverage, making it look dirty. It's all disguised. Guess what? Tight end's right here. Let's get him the ball. And they're doing it. Tight end, running backs.
First down to Cook. The stutter step, and Chanel brings him back after only 1.
The times that the Chiefs have stopped the Bills is when they won first down. Every time the Bills continue to win first down, they really have not even remotely been close to being stopped. But if you can slow them down, Bolton had the 2 run-throughs early in the game. Spagnuolo knows he's out in first down. And they did there. Now you think it's a passing situation, you can call up your cool stuff.
2nd and 10. Able to escape. Got away from a Minahu. And lobs it out of bounds. Funny, you're just talking about staying on schedule. Because Spags told us that. First down is huge for us. Got to find ways to get them off schedule. But then it's funny, when we were meeting with Joe Brady on Friday, he was talking schedule again. He says, we just got to always stay on schedule. We hit our plays, we can be a force. And the Atlanta game, which was a shocking loss, didn't even recognize his team because they were off schedule so much that day. Didn't know what he was watching.
You're exactly right. They had to get back to the foundation, which is let's run the ball, keep it simple. Don't be random, I call it. Don't just go create backyard football. You called it, Jimmy. It's exactly right.
3rd and 10. Shakir Bolton waiting for him and throws him down. So they were able to stop the first down.
There you go.
Right now,
Yes.
and then nothing materialized, and they come off the field.
You literally couldn't say it any better. Bolton had 2 of those earlier in the game when he ran through, stopped the run on first down, because Buffalo's playing it so close to the vest that now you get him in obvious passing situations, and you don't want to do that against Spagnuolo. Big stop for the Chiefs.
Wisnowski, who signed with Buffalo on September 30th. He punted in 2 Super Bowls with the 49ers against Kansas City. Went against them again today, and he has it bouncing around at the 11. Solomon downs it. 37-yard punt, pinning them. Should never really pin the Chiefs. Cityscape shining right now as the Bills lead it here in the 3rd quarter.
Every
Here's a look at some bold moves presented by Wingstop. Game's opening touchdown to a tight end, Kincaid, then a little flip to Hawes. Rice runs it in for Kansas City's only touch. Almost across right there. Johnson had another touchdown run for the Bills. And now Buffalo's back out here at the 11. To Hunt, no one was fooled there as the likes of Cam Lewis came up to help bring it down. This is wild to think. It's the first time they've ever met in the regular season with these 2 quarterbacks where neither team came into the week that they didn't have at least one of them in first place in their division. And they would be, if it was today, I know we got a long way to go, but they were 5 and 7 seeds, and it's still that way after the early action. Pivotal to think the downside if you lose. Take Kansas City. The fourth loss, if that happens, and again, you're talking about a team that was all about the 1 seed. Here is Mahomes firing it to Brown. And that was the rookie Hairston on the coverage on Worthy, actually. It was Worthy deep. Back to that point, Tony, about what Kansas City's fighting for with the Broncos and Chargers.
Yeah, you're exactly right. This is a great job, by the way, Jim. We'll get right back there. But Hairston's the first-round pick. Just started last week playing a little bit, some plays. But he could be a game changer. If he can run with Xavier Worthy on a go route,
How about that?
this changes Buffalo going forward. But this is a monster game.
This is his debut last week. Hairston.
You said the downside is real.
3rd and 9. Launches it. Look who's open. Kelsey at the 40-yard line. Mahomes danced around and bought enough time to pick up 28 and move the football all the way out to the 40.
This is just the backyard football of two Hall of Famers, honestly. I want you to watch. There's Kelsey right there. There's nothing there. Mahomes backs up and just throws the ball, and guess what? Somebody else knows where to go to be like, listen, I'm open. I'll go find an area and just throw it up. That is a great connection.
Boy, big-time change of field position as they hand it off for a short gain. We've got an update. Now let's get back to Adam Shine.
Jim and Tony, you guys just showed that AFC playoff picture. Well, here's Trevor Lawrence running in for a score. First rushing touchdown since that game winner against the Chiefs in Week 5. 13-9 Jags, Becky.
All right, we are following up on that, Adam. If Jacksonville wins, if Kansas City loses, Kansas City will fall back to 8th position. Again, on the top 7. Making it, we got miles to go, but just to give you an example of the downside you mentioned and the consequences and challenges you face the back half of the season as Mahomes steps up, flings it incomplete. Got another 3rd down on the way coming up for Mahomes. Michael Hoyt was all around Mahomes when he was trying to throw that.
They're talking whether this was intentional grounding because nobody was in the area. Did get past the line of scrimmage. It was a great throwaway, but I think they're going to call it.
How about that? Jeffers throws out the flag.
Or across the line of scrimmage. It's one or the other.
Intentional grounding, number 15.
Yes!
And Patrick makes an appeal that his arm was hit when he threw it, and that's why the pass came up.
It's real. So what happens is you have to be outside the pocket. So he knows he's about to get hit right there in the pocket. Now watch. Go ahead and run this. It looks like it's single high. Buffalo's done a great job of getting 2 guys high, and now he throws it into an area that no one is at. He just wanted to get rid of the ball, knowing with his great instincts he's about to get hit. Don't put the ball in harm's way. That's the correct call. In the pocket.
3rd and 16.
Mahomes might not be wrong though, Jim. Did that ball get tipped?
We got a red challenge flag on the far sideline.
If the ball gets tipped, this changes everything.
That was definitely tipped. It goes dead. It hit the fingertips of Hoyt. That's what Patrick was trying to signal. It changes the entire intent of the throw. Turn their own call and bring it back to 3rd and 7. Let's bring in Jinx Territories for his interpretation.
It's very unique, Jim. You know, we know that you can review a pass interference not if the ball is tipped. In this scenario, Hoyt definitely touches that pass, and we see a receiver breaking to an area that looks like Patrick Mahomes is throwing to, I don't see why we would not be able to review something there, because where this football lands is in related directly to the fact that the ball got tipped. So in the area, that gets moved around now because of a tipped ball. And I think that's what Andy is pleading to with Carl Sheffers right now.
Andy is not happy.
After discussion, there's no reviewable aspect on the play. It is third down.
So, Gene, this is not something that can be overturned.
Yeah, with the intentional grounding, Jim, I've been around for almost 30 years in this business. This is the first time that I have seen a play like that. My question would be, though, if you were throwing the ball in the area of a player and a tipped football would change that, I would like it to be reviewable if it's, in fact, not at this point.
It certainly was a miss. 3rd and 16.
Yeah.
Right here, this is a great job of keeping this spot covered. Everyone has rush lane integrity. Sean McDermott, Bobby Babich, outstanding job right there to not allow him to extend the play.
Buffalo defense, so scrutinized coming into this week with all of its injuries. Coming up big so far is Shakir. Steps out at 26. That was a 60-yard boot by Ariza. The rematch. Coverage of today's game is provided by Goodyear. Scoreless third quarter with 5.5 to go, and the Bills lead at 21-13. Cook slides to his right, tries to cut back middle, and there's a whole host, including Bolton, waiting for him after a gain of 3.
These are the moments in the game that you see, can Buffalo go down and make the game simple, right? You go to your core stuff, you run the football, because you're going to get the best that the Chiefs have right now. Championship, DNA, they know how to show up, and they're going to bring it right now, Spags, in this defense. So you got to come up with something good for Buffalo.
2nd and 7.
Got the first down, yeah.
Drag route. And the great Jim Nance to start the game said, how many times have they thrown the ball to Shakir in the last 2 outings?
Yeah, he had 18 catches in the 2 outings last year, and today now with 7 catches. So doing the same kind of work.
It's in the middle of the field, tight ends, Shakir running back.
1st and 10. Bootleg time. Trying to load up, it wasn't there. Dumps it off and
Got the first down, yeah.
for the first down. Gain of 11.
It's a great job by Josh. He's gonna, hey, we're running it over here, wide zone, comes back, and he could have been risky with the ball. But he knows in big games, you can't be risky with the ball. Great decision, staying in phase.
Allen's hit 12 of his last 13 passes. 2nd catch of the game for Coleman. Cook. Trying to run behind Gilliam. And it's a gain of about 2. It's the
Same play we've seen. Gilliam starts on the right side, that runs to the left. Guess who's adjusted?
Yeah.
Kansas City and Spagnola. Can't do the same things over and over again against this team.
So they have a line change, if you will. Spags helped solve that one by halftime with the adjustments. 3 wide receivers come in for the Bills on 2nd and 8.
Got the first down, yes.
It's just his 6th catch of the season.
This is why it's a heavyweight fight. No one throws under extreme pressure, lays the ball right in between both defenders. Outstanding, right, Josh?
And they move quickly with no huddle after 28 yards. It's Cook. Run back 6.
You can see they're going fast after chunk plays, explosive plays down the field to keep the defense on their heels. Really great job by this staff to be prepared for that.
Big moment in this game with 2 minutes to go in the 3rd.
Yeah, just a quick handoff right here like earlier.
2nd and goal. There it is to Cook. Cook trying to back it in. Unable to get there. Spencer Brown was trying to get over there in time, but couldn't quite make it.
Doing
Find right tackle.
Now, quarterback sneak. Here we go. It's not the hot ball. It's the Josh Allen.
Josh with a little help.
Touchdown, yes.
Toronto came over and headbutted him. He helped push him across.
They are prepared. Watch Torrance on the right side right here, trying right here, and then he grabs him and just says, "Come here, buddy." You called it with a little help from my friends.
Josh Allen, through regular and postseason games, has now had 79 rush touchdowns in his 8th year. Give you an example where that stands all time, 25th. He just moved ahead of Earl Campbell on the all-time NFL rush touchdown list, regular and post, one of the all-time great running backs.
And he's only 29.
Takes it to the same end zone where he had the winning touchdown a year ago. His 2nd rush score of the game. Two touchdowns just regular season. Only Derrick Henry amongst active players has more rushing touchdowns than Josh Allen.
That's crazy. Because he does play running back,
They
right?
added dimension that you get. And by the way, he's 21 out of 24 passing for 253 yards and a touchdown. Important. Important. Lost to 25. And out of bounds at the 34. And Gilliam helped push him out. Saturday at 3:30 Eastern on CBS, another big-time college football matchup. We head down the crucial stretch of the season. Number 6 Oregon takes on Iowa. Our coverage begins at 2:30 with college football today. The Big Ten is on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. Facing a 15-point hold. Big handoff, play action. And the ball's out. The ball is out. And recovered by Hoyt. I think they're going to say that the arm was going forward. Epinesa was in there delivering the blow. It's an incompletion.
Yeah, it's going to be incomplete. Epinesa with a great pass rush. Using a swim move, getting outside. And right at the end, yeah, you can see that. Gene?
Yeah, clearly going forward, fellas. That's an incomplete pass for sure.
It still makes you feel as a quarterback, you're like, they're getting around me. So it speeds up your internal clock. He's got to calm down. Huge drive right now.
2nd and 10. Again, feels the heat. Backs away and overthrows Rice.
He's trying desperately to make something happen. That was way too risky. Should have thrown it away. But because of the previous play, they won on first down. Now he's going to try and make something happen. And watch the hit at the end, Jim.
Vanessa, 2 straight plays all over him.
They allocated their resources to the D-line. That's the way to win, and they are performing today.
3rd and 10. Wide open is Brown, and they get out of a 3rd and 10 jam. What a gutsy throw for 36 here, Tom.
Yeah, and it's a semi-pick play, and Ingram, who's the dime nickel, is in the slot, and Mahomes, one of the best ever at recognizing a mistake by the defense. You cannot count the Chiefs. I know it looks bad. It's too bad play. We're down by 15. Well, who do you want to throw back there right now? Put that dude out there. The Chiefs ain't going away.
On first down. He's going to go to Juju Smith-Schuster. A little toe-to-toe with Cam Lewis and a minimal gain. Clock running down here on the 3rd quarter. To do it for the 3rd. Only points scored in that quarter. The touchdown from the yard out by Josh Allen.
The juggernaut of the Chiefs coming in has been slowed down, but there's still a quarter left, Jim.
Yep, it's a 2-score game, but they're driving. Defense has come up big for Buffalo tonight. Josh Allen's doing his thing with 3 total touchdowns.
Does the other quarter number 3.
From the 31 of the Bills to start the final quarter. In trouble again. Joey Bosa.
There he is. What an acquisition. Just watch this. I'm going to pretend to go speed to power, and I just bull rush and then swim move, and right there is why you go. Get someone of his caliber, and boy, has he shown up this year, and this is impressive. He has created opportunities for this defense. Oh.
We got injury timeouts.
Healthy food fresh from the fridge.
Comes in for Taylor. It's being looked at on the sideline, but 3rd and 17. Mahomes just sacked for the 3rd time in this game.
Motion to see the defense man or zone. Looks like zone here.
Down the field, and Bill sideline says incomplete. It's going to Worthy, and it is incomplete.
Well, he's about to get pushed into by Morris on the backside. He wishes he had this throw back barely. It's a really pretty good throw, but he could have thrown it right on his chest. It's a good attempt. Worthy could have caught that bang play.
Oh my goodness, just what they didn't need. He's made plays. Talking about Hoyt.
He's been everywhere too. They play him at D-tackle, DN, all around the field. Great acquisition this offseason. Gives them position flexibility. And he was a big part of this plan today.
It was a big presence last week against Carolina. Mahomes is still out here.
Wow.
First 40-yard line, 4th and 17.
First thought, they may try and draw off sides just to get into a more manageable fourth down. I do believe they're going for it. He's also one of the best I've ever seen on fourth down. Someone's going to have a chance for a catch to possibly get it.
Rice has not been targeted nor touched the football in this second half. Timeouts, the Chiefs, some of them have given up on the play. And whistle first, as some of them couldn't even hear in this raucous environment.
Prior to the snap, first charge timeout, Buffalo.
First timeout's called by Sean McDermott.
What your thoughts on going for it? I know we've had this discussion in the past. Not everybody in the world would you think about going for something on 4th and 17, except if you got Patrick Mahomes. So he's the one guy that could probably figure out how to do it better than anyone.
Never a good situation, and almost nobody would do it, especially with this amount of time left in the game. But I'll say this. If it's 4th and 17, I would try and draw you off sides to get into a more manageable fourth down, first off. Possibly be able to get a kick, which you don't really need right now. But Mahomes is unbelievable in these situations. I'm not joking. Someone, it will be a bang-bang play and have a chance.
Watch out for Rice. Line up at the top. 4th and 17. Mahomes spinning back around. Looking way down the field. Going to need a big one here. There it is. To Rice at the 15 and out of bounds at the 10. They deliver on 4th and 17. You just feel that one coming. 29 yards to Rice.
What an amazing call. This is also why you go for on 4th and 17. Possible pass interference, things like that. But watch this. Here's Bosa. They're not going to block him. They're going to bring a backside guard all the way over. Mahomes pretends to roll out. It's a pretend scramble that gets back to a pocket. Andy Reid, genius.
Handoff to Hunt. And bang it around to about the 6.
Remember I talked about how Andy Reid brings his big guns out in big games? That's one I haven't seen before. Don't block the DN, just chip him. Pretend like he's scot-free so he runs up the field to the quarterback and then reset the pocket. Oh,
by the way, that was the longest fourth down ever converted by Patrick Mahomes in his NFL career. 4th and 17.
Who goes for it unless the game is still on last play?
2nd and 6.
Told you, they're going to find some way to make that thing get you. It's real.
On the 7. Mahomes steps up. Ball about flinging it. It gets within a yard of the first. Brought down from behind by Rousseau. Patrick Mahomes right now is under 50% passing, 13 of 27. And this first time he's run in this game, he's had a great season running and scrambling with the football.
He really has. He's on record pace. Getting the ball out the fastest of his career, running more. Not today. The Bills have been swallowing that up. But he is amazing bringing his team back, and he's showing it again.
3rd and 1. 2 yards from Baker. Punt. Denied. He was, again, on 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1. Including an earlier conversion today. 18 out of 20. But stopped this time.
We saw him get stopped on the 2nd down, which doesn't exactly count, but here it is. Do you give it to him again, Jim, or no?
I think they're going to put the ball in the hands of the quarterback.
I think so, too.
You know, they've already converted on 4th and 17. Now they just need a yard. They got to have it. Oh, it is Hunt, and he gets in with ease. Touchdown, Kansas City. Spread everybody out, and Kareem saw enough of an opening, a little crease, didn't need much. And look, he's going for 2. Andy calling for 2. Interesting, the big debate, do you go for it here after the next one? They're going for it right now.
And this is basically, okay, we stopped them, now they're going to throw it. Everyone thinks it, you just do it again. Hey, if he got stopped once, it's 18 for 20, do it twice. Make the data be right. Andy Reid doing this because his enough time on the clock to get multiple possessions is why he's doing it. Otherwise, if 6 minutes, you wouldn't.
To get it to a one-score game. It is right there for Kelsey. Oh, reliable 28-21.
Guess who shows up?
This is the one that set it up. How did Rice get that open?
Because you gave the greatest I've seen.
We're back here at Highmark Stadium. Not the highest of probabilities to go for it on 4th and 17, but they go for it, and Mahomes throws a strike to a wide open Rashee Rice for 29 yards that help propel them to another punt touchdown. And the return by Davis to about the 31. By the way, next Sunday, we're going to be there for an outstanding NFL on CBS Week 10 Interconference Showdown. The Patriots have won 6 in a row. We're going to take on Baker and the Bucs down in Tampa. So we'll see the key AFC South matchup featuring the Jaguars and the Texans. It begins at noon Eastern with the NFL Today. You can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and stream on Paramount Plus. Trimmed to 7 in the most improbable way. Allen takes it out and takes off. He slides for 6. He's going to chuckle about that one. Got him to commit.
He definitely... Oh, that's a little acting a little bit there. It looked like, we'll see her here. Hey. Oh, no, that hurts so bad. That's why he was chuckling. He's like, I almost got you.
He's got an off-season home in Hollywood, maybe setting up a few more commercials down the road for something bigger, 2nd and 4. As Cook gets near the sticks, they won't give it to him. Give me about a half-yard shy. Got a 3rd down on the way.
This drive will tell me a lot going forward for this Buffalo team. Come in before this weekend as the #1 team rushing yards per game. Here comes the old tush push. I don't think they're going to need Torrance here.
They go left again. And this time it works as he bounces off the first contact.
Got the first down.
That's the first down. Again, they were 2 out of 5. After all of last season, they only failed 1 time on the sneak. And they got the AFC title game, and they were denied 3 times, including one controversial one in the 4th quarter they said was not enough.
Well, this shows you, even there, they got stuffed right away. And the push actually allows it to be a first down. But Kansas City makes it very difficult. And you just called it, Jim. Look at that. So much of that game came down to that. And in some ways, obviously, other big plays.
First down. There's Cook looking for 100. Cook needs 13 to get there. He's got 4
down. Yeah.
First running back. Take a seat and stand up. Jimbo James Cook. He's got 101 yards.
Come downhill, read it, bounce. His vision is next level, and this is why I said this drive is going to be really telling. Can Buffalo make the game simple? Don't have to go through Josh Allen to close the game out. Can you give it to Cook and let him close the game out?
First 100-yard rusher against the Chiefs since Lamar last year in week 1 and 24. And first running back again since Samir White of the Raiders on Christmas Day of 23. Let's go down to Trace.
Well, Jim, defensive end Michael Hoyt, who just returned from that 6-game suspension last week, got hurt on that last drive. It was a non-contact injury. Could not put any weight on it. He refused to go in, though. Wants to stay on the bench with his teammates. They are calling it an Achilles injury, and he is out.
Oh, boy. Never good, right?
Nope.
One's non-contact, and he played awesome awesome last week and was playing good tonight as well.
2nd and 10. Look at that tackle. That was McDuffie. That was one way to bring him down. Bolton was in the area and a loss of 4.
This is where Spags and Bolton are incredible. Watch him right here. He's going to go back like, hey, I'm going back to the middle. Nothing to see here. And then boom. As soon as you ID the mic and you say, hey, line, he's not coming. Don't worry about it. They trick it. And remember, on that last play, Spags brought a blitz that they were not prepared for. They did it again there.
3rd and 14. Halfway through the 4th. Chiefs have their 2nd sack of the game, and it cannot have come at a bigger time.
Chanel's pretending to rush. Jones pushes the pocket, comes off. But Chanel's job as a D lineman standing there is to be a spy. And he just comes off the block. And Josh Allen thought he was going to get away and be free. 2 well-coached teams right now, and here we go, Jim.
Here we go. That actually was sack number 3 because those last 2 plays, both went down as sacks of Allen. And now Kansas City going to get the football inside 7 minutes. Fair catch, signal, and secured by Remigio.
I was surprised they didn't run the ball more in the last 2 plays, honestly.
Especially after that 114-yard run by Cook.
That's right.
7-point game with under 7 to play. It's Hunt. Look at him bouncing around. What a run by Kareem Hunt for 8 yards. Now, they opened the season talking about the Bills coming back from 15 down in the 4th quarter to beat Baltimore. Can the Chiefs come back from 15 down at Buffalo and do the same thing that the Bills did against the Ravens?
Absolutely. If anybody can, it's definitely the Chiefs. And the other part, too, is just watching that. They made it simple. Instead of putting the ball in Mahomes' hands right there, they decided to give it to Hunt. What we thought they should have done on the other side. Cook should have got the ball probably. The times, they are changing, as Bob Dylan said.
2nd and 2. They're staying with Hunt. Hunt always runs hard, but this time it got basically nothing, and there is a flag on the field.
Holding. Number 64.
Yeah.
That's called on Wanye Morris, who came in for Jawan Taylor earlier in this quarter. At right tackle after Taylor was hurt.
And you'll see it right there.
Wanya boy.
Great job of keeping contained today. Spilling that one.
And Tracy reporting that the injury for Taylor is an ankle injury. He has not returned since going out. That's the first penalty on the Chiefs of this half. That was a big one, drops him back to a 2nd and 12.
Now Buffalo can do disguise. They know 90% this is a throw. Here we go, Mahomes time.
Rushing for it. That time throws it, dumps it off to Kelsey, and he falls forward for the 1st down.
Nobody better than these 2 at finding the soft spot. If you're going to run a zone defense, Kelsey's going to chip Epinesa, and then you could have a route that says go across the middle. He's like, no, this spot's way more wide open, and Mahomes will find me. And he does. On a huge play for Kansas City.
1st and 10. Jordan Poyer is in the secondary for the Bills. The old veteran, and clogging up the middle on Rashard Smith. A whole group of defensive linemen, including Mathis. And now you've got the left guard injured. Suamat Taia is going to hang in here, but banged up up a bit on that play.
He should go down. Yeah, I was like,
Caliendo coming in. Yeah, Caliendo's going to replace him.
So right, all these moments right here, Jim, now I was like, what do you think they're going to do with 2 tackles now out? Do you think they're going to want to get up here and have a big long play to throw the ball downfield?
So you got 3 starters basically out. Simmons is still out for personal reasons. Taylor out.
So Caliendo came in at right guard last week. Had a little bit of a rough time. So to me, expect a run or a quick screen here.
2nd and 10.
Not some long developing play.
Hold on. Official stop it.
Second charge timeout. Buffalo. 30 seconds.
Second timeout called by Sean McDermott.
As the Chiefs were already at the line of scrimmage, they have to call timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this.
Introducing Arby's Steak Nugget.
Screen bounces off a helmet and falls incomplete. Now you got 3rd and 10.
Well, like I said, as soon as you have a bunch of guys down on the O-line, you're going to want something fast. This is going to be a screen pass.
Trey Smith
to go around Trey Smith's head. And that's because of the pressure being applied by Buffalo. The ball's going to come out, Mahomes knows it. You can't always just wait for it to be perfect. Big 3rd down.
Suleiman Taia is back in at left guard on this 3rd and 10. So we got 1 starter back. Deep ball in the double coverage.
It's off. Yes.
Picked off by Hairston, the rookie.
Ketchum provided the pressure. Interceptions happen because of Bosa with the pressure. Bosa closes the edge.
Maxwell Houston.
Couldn't find everyone, and the rookie, who I think could be the game changer if he develops and he's the guy they think. Wow, look at that hit. He has speed, and he has shown up today in the biggest play of his young NFL career.
Just his 2nd game. His first pick for the 1st round pick out of Kentucky. And Joey Bosa, again, making plays that don't show up as a stat, but quarterback pressure, yes. Plus a sack already this game, but that was huge.
He's been one of the biggest difference makers in this game, and that is like a punt, though, right? If they threw that incomplete, it would basically be here.
Chiefs have all their timeouts. It is Cook. Go to the ground, and he's got 2 more.
There's still a ton of time right now, and the strategy gets really important as to how much time, how many timeouts, what's the score. You put it all together, what's the down and distance. Joey Bosa has been everything they wanted. Spagnuolo wants one of his guys to do the same now. But I honestly think this is the play. If it's 3rd and long, the Chiefs are incredible at getting off the field. I would try and get the 1st down on this play if I was the Bills. I would be aggressive.
2nd and 8. 3.5 to go. Gets it to Kincaid. He's got 1st down. He tumbles over McDuffie.
Every 1st down. Just take a look on the side. Simple flat route. McDuffie has to ride inside. By the time he gets out, it's too late. And what a game Kincaid has had.
By the way, just went over 100 with his 6th catch, 101 yards. We talked about how long it had been since they gave up a 100-yard rusher. They had not given up a 100-yard receiver in 11 games since Jerry Jeudy did a game against Cleveland, playing for the Browns last year in December.
Difference is this is the heavyweight fight.
Cook rips off a run to the 50. Now
the clock matters now. You're going to have to take a timeout. Look at this. See, everyone, look at the displacement. Wow, that's against Chris Jones.
Yeah, Spencer Brown pushing him back the entire distance of that carry.
Timeout called by Andy Reid.
the one reason I felt like it's going to be really hard to come into Buffalo and win a huge game when they're bringing everything, right? Sometimes you have trap games, you're a little bit, have a letdown. But today, Spagnuolo knows it was going to be tough because Josh Allen is incredible. But this running attack, first guy going over 100 yards, Cook, and now they're doing it under pressure in the big moments, up 7. Still going to come down to a third down at some point. Isaac.
Chiefs with 2 timeouts remaining. Second 100-yard game of Kincaid's career. He's come up large today.
This could be a toss.
It's a handoff to Cook, and he's backed up, and the Chiefs will take another quick timeout. Again, McDuffie making a lot of plays.
Outstanding by the Chiefs when they want to stop the run. That should have been a toss. The inside was not the way to go there. McDuffie's been outstanding this year. Mahomes just wants one more crack at it.
By the way, you said it. You still felt it come down to a third down. You got a 3rd and 3 on the way. You convert here. The Chiefs will just have the 1 timeout and the 2-minute warning.
Gives you a pretty good chance, to say the least. And both these teams are never going to make it easy on you.
You know what you usually say in this spot right here?
The legs.
Back legs.
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 Nice job. You were all over it. Now remember, 3 quarterback design runs all year. One of them was today.
By the way, you predicted last night in our production meeting, we see at least 1 today. It's already happened. You said at least. But it's going from under center here.
Not a quarterback design run here. Try and draw him off sides first.
On, but puts down. Yes.
To stay in bounds, to have the awareness. This is everyone's over here. And he's going to come out the other end. 3 Chiefs players expecting to run. What a play call.
By the way, after he falls, Josh Allen runs all the way over to him. We were talking to Josh yesterday at the field house.
He's so smart.
And he just says he's one of his favorite players. He's not surprised by his success, talking about James Cook. Because the way he practices, he runs out 50 yards after every rep in practice. This time it was Allen running after him after the catch.
You're exactly right. Allen said I should probably do it just to...
He did that.
Jerry Rice, right?
Yeah.
Set the standard. The greatest. And he's out there, every time you catch a ball, a slant in practice, he'd finish through the end zone. And I think Cook has some of that, and that's why this young man is showing off the way he has. Super impressed.
Chiefs depleted of timeouts.
Got to hold on to the ball now, and no penalties if you're Buffalo.
Cook looking for any kind of seam that's not there, maybe a yard.
This is slightly uncomfortable spot, right? So it's a little too far to be comfortable just to be like, hey, let's just get a yard and do nothing, because you could miss the kick and give Mahomes some time. And when we come back with a teaser here,
You just done it.
I might take you through how much time will be left.
You're good at the tease business. We had 2 minutes to go here in Western New York. Will Mahomes get another chance with the football? Bosa has come up big. Josh Allen directing the Bills.
It's a bit of warning.
The way. And by Allstate. You're in good hands.
We are back with 2 minutes to go. And a 2nd and 9 that's pivotal, you believe, right here, Tony.
It's extremely pivotal because how aggressive do you be? Most people just run straight ahead, and I think they're going to do the same. But I told you they'd probably get a yard, and they're getting more.
Getting pushed for another and another before the whistle rules it down at the 35. We got an interesting situation. When clock's going to run, is you fail to convert in his 4th down, and you try a field goal to win the game, which would be 53 yards, but you can miss. You give Mahomes, the football at the 43, shortish field with a chance to do something.
So you got to see what you do here on 3rd and 7.
They used a really cool play. Buffalo's going to take this down and take a timeout with 1 second. I don't necessarily agree with that, but they want to get the correct call, to make sure that they're, you want to think about it sometimes, right? So there's the timeout with 1 second. And now from here, if you run the ball, you're giving Mahomes roughly 23 to 27 seconds getting the ball back. If you get stopped, or if you miss the field goal. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So 23 to 27. If you throw the ball, you give them a lot of time, but you could win the game here. Good call. Go ahead.
I think you got to run the football. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes and an interview with President Trump, followed by new episodes of Tracker and the music competition series The Road plus Ghosts. Tonight on CBS Sunday. Meanwhile, you're talking about a quarterback today that's 88.5%, 23 of 26, which, if it ends that way, would be a team record in one game, breaking his own mark of 84%.
Josh Allen, incredible today. By the way, Patrick Mahomes, the lowest completion percentage of his career in the regular season. Shocking. But they're going to run this way.
Here's a handoff to Cook.
It's the right decision. Now you take it all the way down, kick the field goal. If you miss, he's going to have 20 seconds-ish, 23. If he makes it, ball game.
Down, like I said, to the mid-20s. And Prater, who has made in his career 82 field goals of 50-plus. He has been nursing a calf injury this week. He was limited midweek in practice, but this would ice it. But the kick.
And it hit the upright.
With 22 seconds to go. Right in that range of time that you described, and you've already seen him pull off a 4th and 17. Listen to this.
You can hear the doink. And wow, this is why you make every decision here. By making a decision to run it 3 times, you basically said, here's the clock, here's so much time. Do I trust my defense with Mahomes with the ball, with the game on the line to go 60 yards basically? Can we stop it?
And they have no timeouts. Mahomes rolling to buy time, uses the sideline, and he's got Worthy. He's got Worthy at the Buffalo 41. That picked up 18.
What a drive starter right here. I mean, the same thing they did earlier. A unique protection plan, and they get out of bounds. Remember what they did at the end of the half? They went down the field very quickly. This play is going to be the key, Jim, more than the last one.
I've already warned them once. We better watch out for Rice, who's now in motion. 17 seconds. Pass again toward the sideline and out of bounds. 11 seconds. There was pressure on him that time by Bosa.
Why that play was so important from this down and distance, or like where you are on the field, because you see him get hit by Bosa again, wreaking havoc. But now the Bills have an incredible advantage. There's only so many plays, you know exactly how many possible. Before, if they got a chunk there, there's multiple areas they could have gotten actually a touchdown.
They dropped the 2 safeties deep to the 10-yard line. Off the low snap. Mahomes, pressure, step it up, gonna make the miracle play, and it falls incomplete. It was one for Thornton. And now you got one last desperation heave.
I told you, Mahomes is the best I've ever seen when it looks like there's nothing there. This could have been caught, but Bishop again.
All game.
4 or 5 times, but they got to do it one more time with a guy
takes it all the way down to the 5. And it's knocked down incomplete. And the Bills.
And he won the game. Yeah.